What's up, guys? Neil Orphy here, talking a little underdog best ball. In this video, I'm going to be talking about some late round wide receivers. I'm going to be talking about three receivers that I do like in the late rounds, three receivers who you can all get for after pick 180 in Best Ball Mania 4, and then a couple also that I don't like, a couple that you have to get before pick 180 that I just am not clicking the names earlier in the drafts, but still kind of later round wide receivers. I'll talk about all of them. While you're coming though, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification button so you can get alerts when our shows go live. And of course, if you haven't signed up for Underdog Fantasy yet, you really should do so ASAP. Now is the time to get in. It's still July. You got a couple more months to draft some best ball, and you can get your first deposit doubled on Underdog up to $100 by signing up with promo code Stochastic or using our link in the description of this video. You must be 18 plus to play, or 21 plus in Massachusetts, Arizona, 19 plus in Alabama or Nebraska. And if you're conservative to play, call 1-800-GAMBLER. But again, you can get your first deposit doubled up to $100. If you put $100 in, you're going to have $200 right away, because that $100 is going to be doubled if you use the link in the description. You're going to be able to put 8 entries into Best Ball Mania 4 if that is a contest you want to play. Also, plenty of contests that are $5 entries, $4 entries that get posted throughout the summer. So keep your eye out for those if you prefer a lower entry fee than $25. But gotta love this $15 million prize pool in Best Ball Mania 4. So again, talking about some wide receivers here. I'm going to start with a wide receiver who I'm not drafting so far. I just can't click the name. Even in stacks, I'm not really drafting him. It's Adam Thielen, former Vikings player. I love him from his days on the Vikings. I'm a big Vikings fan, so I'm a fan of Adam Thielen, but he's going to be 33 at the start of the season. He has an ADP of 143.5 currently on Underdog. So he's being drafted, kind of just end of the 12th round generally, is where you're going to have to buy Adam Thielen. And again, he's going to be 33 to start the season, which maybe isn't always a concern for every receiver, but we already saw a decline the past couple of years from Thielen. 2 years ago, his fantasy season was salvaged by 10 touchdowns, but last year the TDs dropped from 10 to 6. We didn't see him salvage it quite so much. And it's not just the counting stats. If you look at his separation metrics, his yards per route run, his yards after contact per reception, they're not very great. They look like a player who is declining currently. And he's also going to a worse offense in Carolina with a rookie quarterback who should also be running more. He's going just 3 picks behind teammate Jonathan Mingo and 15 picks ahead of DJ Chark. I like both Mingo and Chark better than Thielen this year. Thielen is just a no click for me. I'm not really drafting any Thielen, really, even in stacks. I don't know if I think I probably have a share or two over the 100+ drafts I've done, but definitely not drafting much Adam Thielen here this year. I would rather wait and pick Hunter Renfrow. I'm drafting him. He's got an ADP of 187.6. We're just 2 years removed from Renfrow catching over 100 balls for over 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns in his third NFL season. Renfrow clearly took a step back last year, sitting 7 games due to injuries and only accumulating 330 yards and 2 touchdowns in the 10 games he did play. But his yards after catch per reception remained great. There is some uncertainty about whether Renfrow is going to be traded. So situation up in the air a little bit. It's kind of a negative because, we generally like to stack. It's hard to know, like, can I be stacking Renfrow in my Las Vegas stacks? But also there's certainly the possibility that he's going to be traded to a better situation. Wherever he ends up, I expect Renfrow to get significant snaps and targets. I just believe in the talent for Renfrow. He's still relatively young. It's a small investment taking him as late as he's going. I really love Hunter Renfrow where he's going currently in underdog drafts. Another player that I'm not really buying into is Alec Pierce. He's got an ADP of 150.8. His rookie season last year was not great. He showed a little bit of promise here or there, but overall he played 16 games and he caught just 41 passes for 593 yards and 2 touchdowns in 16 games. Again, so he played the full season, just didn't really get it done. Of all receivers who were targeted at least 30 times, Pierce was given the 96th best receiving grade by PFF. Of course, that was his rookie year. You can generally expect some improvement from young receivers early on. But the bigger reason I don't love Pierce this year is that I just don't see a lot of upside in a wide receiver 2 at best on an offense that probably is just not going to be throwing a lot. There's also some possibility that Josh Downs, who receivers coach Reggie Wayne has been just raving about all offseason. There's some possibility that Josh Downs takes over that wide receiver 2 spot, surpassing Alec Pierce, pushing him down to wide receiver 3 on the Colts depth chart. And again, it's just going to be an offense that I don't think is going to be passing a ton. Anthony Richardson, a great running quarterback, or at least we hope he's going to be a great running quarterback. I'm just not sure there's going to be enough there to support more than one wide receiver. I'm not even drafting a ton of uh, Michael Pittman. So I just don't really see it with Alec Pierce where he's going currently in drafts. If you've drafted Anthony Richardson and you want to add Pierce as a stacking partner, go for it. I've got no issue with that. It's just a bet on the Colts offense if you're doing that, but I'm not taking him as a one-off at his current ADP. It's a full fade for me on Alec Pierce outside of my Anthony Richardson lineups at that ADP of 150.8. Two more here that I do like are Robert Woods, a couple of veterans to end it out. I like Robert Woods. He's got an ADP of 203. Similar to Pierce, Woods will be playing with a rookie quarterback this year in Houston. He's also coming off a subpar season, much like Pierce, in which he played all 17 games, but had just 53 receptions for 527 yards and 2 touchdowns. But there are a few reasons that I like Woods better than Pierce in best ball this year. First, all indications are that CJ Stroud is probably a better passer than Anthony Richardson. Woods also had a better PFF grade than Pierce last year, ranking 72nd of all receivers who were targeted at least 30 times. And the wide receiver pecking order, I think, in Houston is not really as clear than it is in the Colts room. I guess neither is particularly clear, but you're getting Woods as the wide receiver 3. He's the third receiver off the board, whereas Pierce is second for the Colts. Woods is coming in after both Nico Collins and John Mechie, but Mechie didn't play last season, so we don't really know what kind of volume to expect from Mechie going forward. We still have some concerns about his health. I wouldn't necessarily make a straight up bet on Woods over Pierce in fantasy production this year, but it's pretty close between the two for me. And Woods is going more than 4 rounds later than Pierce on underdog on average. So I like Woods where he's going at an ADP of 203. And then finally, just one more draft that I think has some upside where he's going. Richie James at an ADP of 212.7. James had a career year in 2022, catching 57 of his 70 targets for 569s and 4 touchdowns. And even better, 37 of those receptions and all 4 of the touchdowns came in Richie James's final 7 games last year. So he's kind of coming on strong at the end of the year. He ended the season also as the 39th best graded PFF receiver last year. So we talked about, some others that were around 70th best. Alec Pierce at 96th best. We have Richie James the 39th best in terms of PFF grade last year among receivers with at least 30 targets. And while I like Danny Dimes, I can confidently say that James has upgraded his quarterback situation after joining Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs this year. His situation is a little bit muddled with the pecking order of the receivers. Once again, that's generally what you're finding with late round receivers. James is currently being drafted as the 5th receiver off the board on underdog. But after all the success he had last year, it wouldn't be shocking to me to see James earn a starting job at some point or even start the year as one of the Chiefs wide receivers. And if he does at this ADP, I think that you could absolutely crush the 213 ADP. I think Richie James really could be a steal. Just betting on the talent that we saw last year, if the Chiefs are smart, they're probably going to give him some opportunities, and opportunities with Patrick Mahomes, something that I'd love to see. So I really like Richie James where he's going currently in drafts. I think that he is a buy in late rounds. And in some drafts, he's not even being drafted at all. So, you don't have 100% ownership in these drafts like you do with a lot of players who get drafted across the board. Richie James won't be drafted in every draft, and I think he's got major upside. So there you have it. Those are 3 receivers that I do like in Richie James, Robert Woods, and Hunter Renfrow, and then 2 that I'm not sold on in Adam Thielen and Alec Pierce. Are you with me? Are you against me? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys very much for watching. And again, if you haven't signed up for Underdog, use that promo code Stochastic12 when you sign up, or use the link in the description. You're going to get your first deposit matched up to $100. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck this year.